Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Xbox Live episode 300. Is digital ready for prime time? And first of all, you would think after 300 episodes that the hosts, my other hosts, would know to be quiet during the intro and mute their mics and not go, ooh, oh, and snap open pop cans and making faces at the camera. But hey, that's not how we roll. This is unprofessional podcasting at its best.
We're
Um,
having a Harvey Korman night here.
he's already we're at
Yeah.
episode 300. You're popping open a celebration drink. I don't
Uh,
blame you.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm trying not to cry right now, laughing so hard. Oh
so,
man.
but anyways, welcome to episode 300. I am Mark, aka Wingman 709. With me on this glorious celebration is my good buddy Rob and Brun.
Wait, you
Uh,
combined us.
Yeah,
Wait,
now you
so
guys
we're
don't know
both
what to
your
do.
we're both your good buddy. I see how you're doing. Hey, this is like an obstacle course, isn't it? This is like the intro obstacle course.
Figure it
Well,
out.
yeah, there you go. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Rob, also known as Presar on Xbox Live. Over to you,
and
Brun.
Brun BJ Swick 33 on everything internet. So, not making funny faces. Oh my gosh, I was laughing so hard. I'm glad I was on mute because I was chuckling like crazy.
Yeah, I
Oh
can
man.
see you laughing. I saw you trying to tell, going with the, shh.
Going,
As Rob's all, oh, hey, burp, are we gonna start this thing? As the intro's rolling.
and then his face going.
This stuff's harsh. See this
All right,
Fresca. I'm like, what is
Uh,
this? I didn't. I've never had it before, so I don't know if
that's
I'll have it
funny.
again.
and
Interesting.
in the spirit, I still have my big glass here with me, but it's loaded tonight with real Coca-Cola. So
Oh,
not
buddy.
diet, no Crystal Light tonight. I'm partying up. I'm getting sugared up.
You're having
Don't
the
tell
hard
my
stuff.
doctor.
You're having it.
If I collapse in the middle of the show, just someone call
From
911.
from like sugar shock.
Yeah, no kidding.
You'll get that those that burst of energy that the little kids get after eating their ho hos and ding dongs and whatever. You'll
So
be running around the room.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. We got a great show for you guys, and yes, we do have three winners of our full $60 retail game giveaway. And we are going to announce those winners at the end of the show. That's right. We're going to make you wait. All right. Because we got a lot of, we don't want you to hear you won and then just quit and not listen to the rest of the show. Too bad. You got to listen to the whole show. So that's what it's all about. But we're going to make it fun. It's episode 300. Can you guys believe we've done 300 shows?
Um,
Yes.
I haven't actually done all 300 of them, but you know, it is it is crazy to think about. Definitely, when you're doing one a week and there's only 52 weeks in a year. I mean,
That's a
total that up.
couple of years.
Yep.
Couple,
Oh
couple,
yeah.
2, 3 years. Couple, two,
Mhm.
three, 6 or 7, or what has it been?
No,
9? I don't know.
I think because we started what around Augustish '08.
And it's
Yeah.
2014, almost August-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eight
Something
I mean,
years?
like
I,
that. So,
I
And
remember sitting around with people at work and I actually worked at an entirely different place. I worked at a retirement system in Ohio at the time and talking to my friends saying, "Hey, does this sound like a good or good domain name? Hey, does this sound like a good domain name?" Coming up and you know, thinking about like this Xbox life and this gaming life and all these other ones and stuff like that, but it's crazy to think that it's been this long. So,
so, all right. Well, again, thank you guys, everybody, for joining us, and we appreciate it. Of course, you can always support us, as most of you do, by using our affiliate Amazon link. And by you guys doing that, that is the reason why we were able to give away three $60 games today, and it's a game of your
yeah.
choice. So, just for now, we'll get it out of the way. For those that win, you will need to contact me, Mark at thisxboxlife.com, or through send me a message over Xbox Live. Either way, where I prefer it Xbox Live to be honest. So I actually do it through Xbox Live. That way I know it's coming from your gamer tag because I don't know what your email is. Rob could send an email from winner at hotmail.com and say, "Hey, I'm winner. Here's my gamer tag," or so send me a message through Xbox Live and tell me basically you're going to tell me, do you want the Xbox gift card of $60 so you can use it for digital purchases, or do you want an Amazon gift card for $60 that will you can use to purchase retail physical disc copies or anything you want for that matter from Amazon. So that's what we're going to do. So you need to let us know how you want the winnings, and then we will give that out to you this week. So you'll have it by the end of the week. And you have till the end of July to claim your prize. Otherwise, it goes back in the pool. So I was on vacation for a whole month and didn't hear until August. Too bad. It gets recycled. So we're giving you a whole month to claim your prize. So with that, let's just move on. Keep listening to the show, and you will find out if you won shortly. So, Rob, what have you been playing this week?
All right, as a continuation of last week, I guess I've been at it some more with Wolfenstein. Loving the story. Um, there's some pretty tough parts in there. Basically, you just get annihilated by the opposition. But the storyline's really cool. I really enjoy it. Hopefully, I'll get it wrapped up. I'm pretty close to the end. Probably get it wrapped up this coming week. Other than that, also some more Infinity. More of the same, just playing it with my son, having a good time for the most part, as long as he actually sticks to doing the missions instead of, I guess, punching people and breaking buildings and all that good stuff that tends to sidetrack a 6-year-old. But that's about it for me. How about you, Brun?
Mine is real easy. I've still been working with a community trying to get on there, so I've played a lot of Battlefield this this week. So
I'm
that
sorry.
was that was pretty much it. So getting on that, I have heard that Dragon's Teeth, the expansion's coming soon, but we'll see because it was leaked and then removed off a Twitter account and then announced and then pushed to winter or something. Like I don't know exactly what's going on. So, but played a lot of Battlefield. So that's all.
All right. And this week, I guess it was last weekend. I can't remember if I said this. I can't remember if I did this I think I did it on Monday night, but I think last Monday I finished Watch Dogs, the main story. So I did get it done before Sniper Elite 3 came out. So was able to finally get through the mission that was hanging me up. The weird thing is the one everybody was talking about that was so hard, I got through the first try at the end. So the hard one I got right through my first attempt. It was like in Act 4 where I had two different missions that were just driving me insane. I couldn't freaking. Oh, I was raging. Just raging. Um, but got through them eventually and was able to complete the game. And it's all right. What I really hated, and what do you guys think of these games where when the game ends, they've got 20 minutes of credits and they force you to watch them they don't allow you to skip them. What, are they that up on themselves that they think they want to force everyone to see their freaking name on the screen? Are they that important? I mean, do gamers care who brought the main financial advisor to the game their coffee? I don't. What do you, I mean,
I know
really?
what you're saying. There's been a couple of games that have done that, and it's not like in the Avengers movies where there's something cool maybe at the end of the credits, or Marvel movies, not Avenger movies. But in a game, unless there's a credits achievement or something, just skip past it, you
uh,
know? Because
it
I absolutely know what you're saying. Because there's been a couple of games where I sat through them,
and some
and
of them, like especially these Ubisoft games, they're 20 minutes. I
yeah,
swear this had to be a minimum, and I'm not trying to exaggerate, it had to be a minimum of 15. I should have timed it, but I'm guessing it was about 15 to 20 minutes in length of
Wow.
credits. That you can't do anything. You can't, I guess I could crash to the dashboard, but what they do is they also like to hold that final game complete achievement. So you got to
Hmm.
watch them to get your completed game achievement.
Yeah.
I don't have to watch them. I mean, I can walk away, but that's like they've hijacked my Xbox for 20 minutes just for a meaningless credit roll that I'm not watching anyways.
That's why you have a 360.
Well, that's what I did was I snapped TV and I
Yeah.
started watching TV.
There you go.
So it really annoyed me. It
Or
just
you went
really
back to
annoyed
work.
me. So all right. But anyway, so I did play that. I did finish that, and then I also did play some Sniper Elite 3 this week. I actually completed the story on campaign today or on
Oh
co-op.
wow.
And here's an interesting thing. I had in the co-op, I played I played all the missions with one person on the easiest cadet because we were using a guide to find all the long shots, all the sniper nests, all the collectibles and stuff. We're like let's co-op it together. Let's find all these stupid collectible stuff in one shot. Let's play it on the easiest so we can get all the collectible stuff. And so we started working on it this week. Well, we finished it today. When we finished, the other guy got the achievement for beating it on the easy. I did not. So I went back and I looked through my campaign menu, and it showed that all of them were on cadet except the first two missions. The first one I had done on the hardest skill level with Elite Scion, and I did the next one on marksman, which was like a step up over easy. Those are the only ones that didn't list it as the easy level, but they're higher. It should count. So I'm like, well, that's odd. So Demo and I played the first two again on cadet, and then it triggered. I'm
That's
like,
interesting.
so the higher levels don't count. So there's four achievements to play this game on all the skill levels. So it looks based on that. What happened? It looks like you're gonna have to play through you're gonna have to play the game through four times if you're an achievement hunter.
Yeah.
So if
See,
you
I
go
don't.
through on the hardest, it's not gonna give you all the others. At least that's what it looks like based on today.
I remember games like right at the beginning of the 360 life cycle, they did that, and then I think Halo came out, and it's just like if you beat it on the hardest, you get it for all three,
That's
like
the way most of
the
them
lower
do.
ones, and then everything went that way. So it's kind of a it's instead of forget about the credits thing, that there is more annoying to me than anything else. Like I don't think you should have to play the game four times to get all the achievements if you played on the hardest level first.
Yeah, and I mean maybe it's incorrect, but that's what happened with myself in demo. And the weird thing is him and I, we played the first two levels on cadet, and then later on in the week he wasn't around because his internet went out for a couple days. So I was playing with Elite Scion, and we went and started, and we did the first one on the hardest level, and then I think we went to do something on the second level, and we did it on marksman to do something because we weren't able to get through on the hardest. Um, and so it's like kind of overwrote the easy one, but it's still a harder it should have counted. So it was really odd that I had to go through and replay them on the easiest level to get it to count. So very very odd. But anyways, I did play Sniper Elite, so I still think it's a letdown from the last game. I think Sniper Elite V2 was much better. There's I don't hate the game. I think I've seen lots of issues. Like I was even today, I jumped down. I was walking, and you step down off because you're coming down out of the mountains, and there was this rock floating. It wasn't on the ground; it was floating in the air. And I jumped down and I pointed my gun at it, and I was like, "Demo, do you see this rock floating?" And he's like, "Yes, I do." So both of us were able to see this rock floating in the air, and I've seen that. I've seen bodies just go flying for no reason. We've seen just some weird, bizarre stuff in this game. There's a lot of like you can't walk up onto a rock because it's about. Let's see if I can. It steps up about that much, and you can't obviously. My foot can't lift a half a centimeter off the rock that it's standing on to get onto the next rock, so you can't go there. I guess you're not skilled enough sniper to step up a half an inch. to the next rock. So it's like the way that their boundaries are set up are stupid. It should be okay if it's a big rock. I get it. You have to go and you have to be able to vault over it, or you have to be able to climb up on it. But it's like when it's this tiny little step, you're in your mind. You're like you want to get the high point. You want to walk to the edge of that rock cliff, and you can't because there's an invisible wall there. Um, they also had one where there's you're walking down this like catwalk, and they got these like kind of like a street light. It goes up. I'm all angled off here with my thing, so I don't know how to. Anyways, here let me use a prop. Okay, so you got your street lamp, but then it curves out over the top here, right? So it's kind of hanging, but you can't walk under it. You cannot walk under this because this sticks out. So it actually takes this whole square, and you can't walk. You got to come around it like this. And Democulus was like trying. He's like, I'm stuck. I'm stuck on this light. And I ran into the same thing. And I'm like, oh, you got to go all the way around it to get around. I'm like, it's pretty bad. Just it's minor stuff. But when you're running and people are gunning at you, that stuff will kill you. That'll get you killed, and then it gets you frustrated. So the game really needs some polish. It's not as polished as the V2, I believe. Game is still fun. The sniping's really good, but you end up in a lot of close encounters like you did in the second game. But I think this one has a lot more close encounter type of stuff, and that's where the game fails. Your camera fails, your controls fail. I've had it switched to binoculars when I'm trying to shoot a guy. All of a sudden, oh, let's pull my binoculars out. Here we go. I'm staring a foot away from you, and instead of shooting you, I'm gonna stare at you through my binoculars while you pummel me full of lead. It's
Maybe
it's
won't see those beautiful eyes up close.
so it's stuff like that it's really annoying. Um, but it is what it is. But it's still been a fun game. I do enjoy the playing together with someone, um, and that's what makes it fun. I think is doing the co-op. So I look forward to co-oping this on a harder level again, and we'll see what happens. That's what I played. I spent way too much time on it, so I apologize. So with that, I think we're ready to jump into the news.
All right. All right. And here we go. So, the news for this week starts off with more plants and more zombies. There's a free Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare DLC called the Tactical Taco Party Pack. It includes a new map, mode, and a playlist, plus additional product placemented character variations. And there's also some co op challenges. I guess it's a Aquafina add on there. Then there's a game called Shelter, described as a post apocalyptic strategy game. It'll be published by Team 17. This is a publisher that's been around forever. Right now, they're best known as the guys that did Worms. That's kind of like that, was it artillery battle style game where you shoot across mountains and so forth. Anyway, Sheltered is about a nuclear family surviving after the world is consumed in fire. The game was on Kickstarter, and an Xbox One tier was unlocked. Look for that sometime next year. World of Tanks Xbox 360 edition hits retail on August 12th in North and South America, August 14th in the Asia Pacific region, and August 29th in Europe. They'll include 1,500 in or in-game gold, 200,000 in-game silver premium vehicles, and a pass for 3 days of a premium account time, which gives players a 50% boost to silver and experience or XP earnings. Then there's a bundle dubbed the Combat Ready Starter Pack that also includes a 30-day Xbox Live Gold membership. US pricing is $20. Moving on, the first DLC pack for Trials Fusion, Riders of the Rustlands, is due out on July 29th for $5 on Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4, and PC. It's free part or it's free as part of the game's $20 season pass, which will include 6 pieces of content in total, and those are all released by May 2015. Riders of the Rustlands includes 5 achievements or trophies, 10 tracks, 18 track challenges, and dozens of editor objects. The new tracks are 6 classic style, 2 supercross, 1 skill game called Laws of Motion, and an FMX track called The Gauntlet. DLC adding 3 single player missions, uh, new weapons and bonuses made its way into Watch Dogs. The 3 missions are the Palace, Signature Shot, and Breakthrough. The pack also introduces the biometric rifle and Auto 6 pistol, as well as bonuses, outfits, and weapons boosts. Moving on, Deep Island has announced another entry in its Dead Islands franchise for PS3, Xbox 360, and PC called Escape Dead Island. Escape Dead Island takes place between Dead Island and Dead Island 2, with the storyline revealing how the virus started. You also get to play as Cliff Callow, Callow, however you say that. 4 new DLC or 4 new Titanfall DLC modes could possibly be out pretty soon here. One is called Titan Tag. We currently really don't know much about that. Capture the Titan. This is where you capture the Titan and bring it to your base. Bodyguard. Don't know much about that one either. And Big Brother, attack and defend the control panel. Then games with gold for the 360 in the first half is Gotham City Imposters. Don't forget to grab that because if as long as you're a gold member, it is free to you. Slightly Mad Studios next gen racing game Project Cars now has the support of Bandai Namco. The publisher agreed to distribute the game globally on Xbox One, PS4, PC, for Windows and SteamOS, as well as the Wii U. For the 3 people that have that. Project Cars is slated to launch in November. Moving on to Gears of War news. Cole is set to return in the next Gears of War. And this
Woo,
was
baby.
stated by the voice actor Lester Spate. Then Konami revealed details for Pro Evolution Soccer. The game will include, I believe this is a 15. The game will include expanded passing options when dishing a final pass to strikers, as well as a new shooting system with a variety of unrestricted shooting styles. Although goalkeepers are expected to react better and alter their center of gravity to block shots. They've also boasted improved one-on-one battles in the game, improving players' abilities to dribble into space and away from their marker. Forza Horizon 2 looks like it won't have a story mode, although it does use Kinect. The game will feature a digital personal assistant called Anna. She acts like a digital navigation savvy assistant. She'll suggest events to try, she'll let you know when friends sign on, and supply a recap when you slip back into the driver's seat. Other than that, there's a vast, robust solo experience for the players who just want to play alone. There's really a strong structure set up around the festival and the Drivatars. They really are the characters in the game. You get to form your own narratives with real people, friends, and family that you already know. And lastly, if you played Plague Inc. on your mobile platforms and all that good stuff there, you
Good
may
game.
be tired of the same old bugs. And we're not talking about bugs as in programmatic bugs there, but viruses and all that good stuff. That's about to change thanks to an updated theme, which is done after the upcoming Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. It's going to add the simian flu to your arsenal. Look for it when Plague Inc. Evolved hits the Xbox One in hopefully the near future. And that is it for the news on this show, guys.
Cool.
Woohoo.
Yeah,
Whew, that was a
that
workout.
Plague Inc. game is pretty fun. I've
Oh, it
played it on
is.
my mobile. Yeah, I like it. So
Oh, yeah. You know,
cool.
it seems surprisingly morose, I guess, because you're trying to kill off everybody in the world by making your virus as virulent. Virulent? I guess it's only a virus that does that because I think you have bacteria in there too, don't you?
There's multiple different types.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
now there's a simian
because
flu as well.
yeah, each one you have to take. You have to take different strategies for all of them, but it's pretty good.
Hmm.
So, all right,
So very
Cool.
cool stuff.
Good job, Rob.
cool.
Good job.
Yeah,
Thanks.
good job.
Thanks.
All right, so I got a question. We're gonna go into the round table now, and here is my first question I threw out there for you guys, and this came because of something that happened this week on the Xbox One dashboard and the Xbox Game Store. And my this is around Sniper Elite 3. Now, they have a new release category when you go into the games. And typically what I've noticed in the past is that like a game that's going to come out on Tuesday will usually show up there on Sunday or Monday. It'll actually be listed as the top new release. You'll click it, it'll say unavailable. And it becomes available immediately at 12 a.m. on that Tuesday morning, so midnight Monday night. And so you typically got to wait and you can start downloading at 12 o'clock. Bam. Well, Sniper Elite, I actually happened to have been up, and I noticed that the Sunday and the Monday that it wasn't listed. They actually had other stuff that's not even due to come out until the end of the year, and they had them listed in the new release section already. On Monday, I was even doing a search, searching for the game, and it came up, with the Bing search, said nothing found. Tuesday morning, so I gave up Monday night. Tuesday morning at 12 a.m., I wanted to download it so it was ready to go. But it wasn't available. So I got up Tuesday morning, turned on my Xbox when I came into work, and it wasn't there. It was not listed. So I did a Bing search, and it did appear in the Bing search, but it wasn't listed anywhere else. It wasn't in the game store. It wasn't under new releases. It wasn't anywhere in there. But I was able to download it, but I had to search for it. So then later on that day, I kept kind of looking like, are they ever going to show this as a new release so people notice it and see it? Late that night, it finally appeared in the new release section, but it wasn't on the main dashboard. You had to go into the games, and it was like several tiles over. It was like buried back in past games. And I'm like, that just doesn't make any sense. And then it was like the next day, it finally appeared under the new release section. It was like the top tile under the new releases where it should be. So this made me think, and I posed this question to you guys. Are you concerned by the fact that several new games have been released on Xbox One? And I say that because even prior to that, there was like 4 games released. Was it last week that we talked about? And yet you wouldn't really know unless you were actively watching the Xbox Game Store. And then, so I'm curious as to what you guys think of the fact that going into the digital world, and everybody wants us to move digital, even though Sony says they don't want to. They do. The publishers and developers want us to, because
Hmm.
then they control it. It's like they have more control, and they get ready to use games and all that type of stuff. So the retailers and the consumers don't want it for that aspect, but publishers, developers, they want it. Everybody's moving this way to the digital marketplace, like music and books has. So I'm curious if the digital marketplace is ready for prime time because of things like this. How do we find out when something new is coming out for somebody not listening to our show every week, and even for people that are in the know? Sometimes stuff slips by. You know, like all of a sudden there was 4 games out last week, and we're like, "Whoa, when did these come out?" So, and then if they don't list them properly in the marketplace on the new release tab, you probably won't even see them. So, what do you guys think is? So that's my couple questions. Is digital ready for prime time? Um, do you think, and what can they do to improve it so that consumers are better? How can they better inform us of new stuff?
Well, I think I think digital is ready for prime time. I think what you might find here is, and I'm even going back to when the 360, the Xbox One out yet. There was that show that went through and showed like a bunch of indie developers making their games like Fez and things like that. And even in that show, you had the one guy from that did Fez. He's like out there saying, "Hey, why isn't our game being developed on why isn't our game being announced or shown on the main sample yet?" So like even at that point, Microsoft was still delayed on pushing out like what the new games were and this and that. But I will say that if they're probably paid enough money, it's probably out there in plenty of time. I'm wondering if that stuff's included in like the marketing budget for developers. Maybe Sniper Elite Group, they didn't pay for it to be out there ahead of time and things like that. Because I
That,
really do
but that
think,
I don't think that's it. I don't believe that they're going to charge these people because it behooves Microsoft to let their community know there's a new game to download.
but well, they are eventually letting you know. It's just not they're not letting you know ahead of time or immediately or so on. And plus, I really think it's going to change with this whole preloading stuff coming up. Like, Microsoft's going to also have to allow you to pre-download games prior to when they're released. So it's one of those things like I'm not worried about it, but I do believe money's involved. And the only reason why I say that is, take us for instance. If say we had millions of people hitting this Xbox Live. I know we already have millions. Let's say tens of millions hitting this Xbox Live, and we wanted to put something on there for Vengeful Loki, for instance. Say he's having a kitten sale for his cats, um, and and then Carbide is having maple syrup sale or something like that for you know that stuff. Whoever pays us more is going to get the front page, and then down a little bit further would be the other place. You know what I mean? It's just to me, I think Microsoft for their front page for their featured products and stuff like that,
But
it's part of marketing.
I'm not talking about the featured items.
Okay.
Okay, the featured I get that, and I
Hmm.
don't. And the Sniper Elite eventually showed up there. I'm talking about when you go into the game store and you go to the new releases, everything's listed that's available to download. At
Hmm.
noon Pacific time on Tuesday, Sniper Elite 3 was not listed as a downloadable title. It should have been available for 12 hours already. And that's my point is that if you can't download it digitally when they want us to go digital and you can't get a brand new game when it's available in a retail store, I think that is an issue. Now I'm not concerned about this and I'm not like all upset or mad about it. It's just kind of like it's odd. I mean, I was smart enough to do, I said, okay, well, it's not available at midnight, and it wasn't available at midnight at all.
Hmm.
The next morning, sometime between then and 8 a.m., it appeared only if you did a search. It still didn't appear anywhere by going into the new releases. It wasn't listed, and it should have been there because that means they flipped the switch and you can download it now. So for some
Yeah.
reason there was a delay on the digital piece, which it shouldn't have been. And it was the only title released that day,
Yeah.
and
They
it wasn't
they
the
probably
holiday yet.
they had to screw up something. They
and
Yeah.
screwed up something.
and they probably did because they also had listed under new releases a previous week games that aren't even out for months were listed there.
Mm.
So, it could be all right, someone made a mistake and they're going to correct something on the back end. But if they want everybody to go digital, they really need to nail this stuff down so that it's accurate. And when a digital consumer goes to buy a game that says we're out this day, that they can find it easily and not have to really do, searching for it and then going, well, I'm going to the new release tab. That makes sense. Well, it's not there. So
Mm.
that was kind of the whole thing there. But and then with those other games, we can't demo anything, so you're forced to, I guess, do a Twitch viewing of it or watch a trailer of it. But even there was 4 games last week, and they kind of went by without much notice or fanfare or announcements.
Mm.
So I just think they need to figure out a way to improve upon that if they want to go out to a digital world.
I think when
Yeah.
digital comes around too, it'll probably be easier because that's all they'll have to deal with. I mean,
But what
so
about? But I
Is
think about that. What about music or books? It's not like I don't know. It seems like even with those, I'm not aware of when a new album comes out. I used to be, and maybe it's because I used to really be into music a lot more than I am now. But do you guys find that it's kind of harder to find out when a new album is available that you
Oh,
might
for
be
Yeah,
sure.
interested in?
Yeah,
yeah,
because I
unless
can't
it's
go
a
to my local Coconuts or Sound Warehouse anymore,
yeah.
Yeah,
or whatever. Because that's where
yeah,
you would see stuff. But when it's all digital, unless you follow what the releases are, or you listen to the Xbox Life,
Or the
you know,
band
yeah,
pays iTunes a bunch of money to put it on the front page. So
yeah, it's like how do you find that stuff out? Because like just in reference to music, there's a website that I signed up for where it actually alerts you when a band comes out with a new title. I forgot what it's called. It's like what's the album or whatever. There's services out there that do that for you, so you don't have to do that anymore.
yeah. I remember
yeah,
I
it's like
was looking through Amazon one day, I was looking up a group for something, and all of a sudden I was like, "What? They got an album out. They got a new one that I don't have. When did this come out?"
They got three
Six
new
months
ones.
ago,
yeah.
what the heck, purchase, it's like, I'm like, when did this come out? How do I, so I'm like, I want to know when these things are available. And then, okay, you can sign up for something that you already know about, but like with games, okay, you may not know that, like, of the four, I can't even think of the four titles that came out last week. So it just seems like there's got to be a better way to announce. And at least with Xbox News, they did announce those four titles, and that's how I found out about it. But not everybody's tuned into that. Where everybody's on the dashboard, everybody's got access to that if you have an Xbox One. So
Mhm.
I
Yeah, I
just think
mean
they
with
need to improve upon that, and hopefully it will get better as time. And I'm sure it will.
with Twitter and Facebook and things like that, and I'm going back to the bands. Like those are kind of the ways that you follow stuff nowadays. But it's true. It's music has the same issues that you're talking about. Try to find the new album. Like when is I know when Foo Fighters is coming out with a new album because I love the Foo Fighters. Or Tool, I heard they're supposed to release an album this year, and I've heard Bush is together recording a new album, which I don't know if it's true or not. But those are the things you're kind of like find on the internet. But when are they coming out? And if they do release, what's telling me that they release? So
Right.
yeah,
And I think
good
maybe
point.
it could be a newsletter. Maybe Microsoft could say, "Here's upcoming stuff." I'm already signed up for their stuff. Maybe they could just email me stuff that's coming up with future release dates.
Yeah,
A
I think
GameStop
something was screwed up
has
though.
that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So
albumreminder.com is that website, by the way.
hmm,
And when you're dealing with a fully digital system, you definitely could have something in terms of, let's say, like I don't know, like a self-service page. And it's real easy for somebody to screw it up on the submission side. Who knows? There's so many avenues of how this could have gone wrong. Um, the, the thing that's really important to have, of course, is consistency. You want to have something like Xbox Live with a consistent experience for each and every game. You want to know that if the game's coming out on Tuesday, like Mark said, it's visible X amount of hours before. Uh, you want to be able to see it to know that it's there, and especially if it's something that you're waiting for. And it does kind of detract from the experience a little bit. If you're expecting that game to show up, let's say at midnight, and it doesn't, that's going to be real annoying because you're going to be checking, then eventually you're going to go to sleep, upset, and it just goes from there. But I'd like to think of this all as kind of like a one-off. In some degrees, it's still growing pains maybe from the service because this is all still kind of new. But I'd really expect it to kind of shape up pretty darn soon. It
Okay.
better.
I'm sure it will. But it just
Or I'll take my 59.99 else. Oh, never mind.
no, you won't.
Yeah.
No, you'll buy it retail copy for half the price. So, alrighty. So let's move on then. We'll bring in one of Rob's favorite games,
Oh yeah.
The Wolf Among Us. The final episode is coming out this week for the for this first season of Wolf Among Us, and it will be out on Wednesday. And so I thought it made me think. Okay, so we've played. I think most of us have played The Walking Dead season one.
Right.
Mhm.
Rob and I will both. I know will have completed Wolf Among Us probably by the end of this week, and we're wrapping up the season two of Walking Dead as well. So we've really gotten into this kind of episodic gaming. Telltale's really been pushing it, and we know they've got a couple more games coming out. What Game of Thrones and Borderlands are some new IPs. They're going to do the same type of episodic gaming, and I'm sure they're going to keep Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead going forward. So, do you guys um, are? Why did I put that as a question here? Okay, is this the future of gaming? Do you think if this is truly because obviously it's being successful for Telltale. So a couple of
Yeah.
questions. Do you guys think it's the future of gaming? Do you think this is dumbing down gaming as we end up watching more than we play? Do you think that devs can keep? Well, I got a couple. Let's just do that first one. Let's hit these a question at a time. That might be easiest.
Yeah, let's
So,
do it.
is this the future of gaming? Episodic content. And the reason I ask is because, again, devs want control, right? They want to control everything. They want to keep you coming back to their game. They want to keep you paying them the money. So, episodic games really allow them to do that.
Well, this is not the first time that companies have done episodic gaming.
Mhm.
This was kind of started. Oh man, I can't remember the name of the company. This is the first time I remember it. There was a company done by somebody kind of famous using the Half Life engine. Oh, who was it? I'll see if I can look it up and I'll mention it later. But that was the first episodic game that I remember, and it was something like 10, $15. It wasn't too much, but as luck would have it, it stopped. It never completed its story. This is well, Telltale now started the episodic stuff. Where the first episode was $5, and then you could buy the season pass after
Mhm.
that to complete it all. And it's been pretty successful for them, I think. However, for a studio, it could be a risky prospect to some degree because, yeah, you hook somebody for that first $5, but they may never, you might not get them for the rest uh, of the episodes. They might just stop playing. And that's always the risk, I guess. Although I believe probably the majority of people probably get those season passes, wouldn't you guys say?
I would
Yes.
think.
No? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, because you can also buy those individually, right?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
I never do, so I don't know.
You save. You
I just
save
go
like.
for the season pass.
I
Yeah, I
think out
think you
of all
save
of it, you
five
save like.
bucks.
Yeah, you save for like one episode.
Yeah, it's like buy four, get one free.
Hmm.
But yeah, so it's not the first time that it's been tried. It's definitely a lot more successful right now, but it does have its inherent risks. And I applaud Telltale for doing it a much better way than it's been done in the past. How about you, Bron? What do you think?
Well, I did. I did the whole um, first season of The Walking Dead, and I loved it. I did. I loved it. The Wolf Among Us, I got the first episode for free, but I haven't even played it at all. And then as far as The Walking Dead season two, I haven't done any of those either, but I'm kind of waiting for all of them to come out because in this kind of comes that thing is episodic games the next thing, the next best thing or whatever. I guess to me it's a yes or no question. Yes, but only if every game does it, and no because I'm still waiting till all of them come out because I want to have that full experience, without the pausing of who knows how long. Because Telltale said, "Oh, we're going to come out with one, once a month or whatever," and they were always late, you know. And now I think they're biting off more than they can chew with taking on uh man, I can't think of Game of Thrones and another one that they're doing. But the only reason why I say no, I don't think it's the thing that's coming up is just because I think a lot of people want the full story. They don't want that waiting, you know, the suspense. I guess that's kind of a good part about it though. But when I come back around to it, I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait for the whole thing to come out. So I kind of got bit as well with Penny Arcade, the Principus of
Oh
whatever
yeah.
The
that
Rain
long
Slick's
title.
Precipice of Darkness or something.
Yeah, yeah, because it was just like the first two episodes came out and then the third one never did. I think it eventually did something, but
I, yeah, I think it eventually did, but it was like a long time later, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah, and it's just like, well, I'm not going to put any money in the beginning until I know the end is there. So I'm pretty sure we don't have to worry about Telltale doing that, but that's
But
kind of
there,
my
but there are no guarantees as well. If you go out for the
true.
first one, or even the second one, and by the third one, it's no one's buying it. Are they going to keep pumping
Hmm.
them out? I doubt it. And then you've got a half game that you've paid a season pass for.
Yeah, yeah. Another
And
another
it's bound
thing,
to happen. We're bound to
right?
pay a season pass and a game go belly up,
Yeah,
which actually will lead us into our next story. But
almost Battlefield, almost Battlefield 4.
well,
Still waiting on those DLC packs and stuff like that. But you know what? One thing, real quick, before you go on to that
oh
last
no
one.
no no, I'm not jumping into it. I'm just
Oh,
saying
okay.
our next story is actually kind of a good example of something that comes out and then bam, studio's gone. So
Yeah.
if and it went out just like that. So if you're putting you know, the season pass out there, you're committing to money. Okay, I'm going to play this game for the next year, and even on one of Rob's stories about the Trials DLC, I was like, wait a minute, I forgot. I actually bought that DLC. I haven't played that game. I'm not probably going to even know the DLC came out. You
Hmm.
know, a year from now, are we gonna be reporting? Oh, hey, here's more DLC that came out. And if they don't advertise it, I'm never gonna know it's there. Never gonna play it. What a waste of my season pass.
Yeah.
And if like a lot of gamers like me, you're always jumping on the new hotness. Am I going to benefit? I've got Call of Duty Ghosts. I
Mm.
think they've released a couple map packs. I haven't even downloaded or played yet. And I bought
Right.
the season pass. Why? I'm really starting to, the last couple of weeks I kind of been thinking about it. Like, I think I'm going to stop buying these season passes because I'm not even sure when the content comes out. I don't know what I'm going to be playing at the time, and I may want to be playing something else. That was a big waste of money if I don't play it, and I can always get it at a later date.
Right.
So
Yeah. And one thing, I don't know why I didn't think about this before, but before Telltale and this episodic gaming, we kind of still have episodic gaming in the form of trilogies. So
True.
the big games, they come out. They also have it. They don't obviously, but their season passes. Well, we don't have a season pass. You just buy a $60 game, $60 game, $60 game. But look at Mass Effect and Halo, and I mean Halo was 4 games long, so it's like the episodic story or the story of something is crossing across multiple games. This is just a smaller, more compact version of it. So I mean, we kind of have it today, but it's kind of it has that full retail AAA title versus indie smaller title type of feel. Like this is considered episodic gaming. This is considered, the other one's considered trilogy or multi-game or something like that. So, which
Yeah.
we'll have to put that in for a topic one time during another round table. A lot of people are trying to remove this indie game or AAA game. They're trying to make say all games are the
games are
same.
games.
Games are games,
Yeah.
and a lot of people are for that. And I don't want to say that I'm not, but I'm also kind of just like, no, they're not the same thing. Resogun is not the same as The Last of Us. I'm sorry, it's just not. you know, Halo 5 is not the same as uh, The Wolf Among Us. It's not.
Zombie
So
Driver Ultimate Edition.
yeah, they're not the same thing. They're not the same quality type.
Yeah.
I don't. It's like you can't. I don't see how a console could survive on like those type of games without AAA titles.
It's
And
called
that's
the Ouya.
well, no,
Yeah.
it's called the PlayStation 4 right now. I
Zing.
just well, no, I'm not trying to zing anybody, but it's just like the console's doing well, but you can't sit there and put off. I know we don't have AAA titles, but we have a bunch of these types of games. I'm just like, and everybody's like, they're just as good, and I'm like, yeah, they're good games, but you can't survive on those. I don't know. Sorry, sidetracked.
Hey, I don't buy a $500 console to play 60-second shooter, and that 60-second shooter looks like it'd be a lot of fun, but that's
Mm-hmm.
not why I'm buying a $500 console. I'm buying it because I want Titanfall, Battlefield 4, Tomb Raider. I
Yeah.
want these 8 to 12 to 100-hour epic stories that you're not going to get, you know, in an indie title. But
Yeah.
so
Well,
we're okay. So we're getting way off track though.
yeah. Sorry.
So let me bring us back with the next
Rope it
question.
in.
Back to
Reel it in.
episodic. Is the episodic, is it dumbing down gaming? Because in my honest opinion, I'm starting to lose interest. I'm gonna get the Wolf Among Us. Obviously, I did the season pass, so I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna play the last one, and or I should say, I'm going to watch the last episode, and I'll probably put in a couple of. I'll press a button to select my dialogue, and I might have to move a stick once or twice to dodge something, and the game will be over, and I'll get all my achievements, and I will watch to the final episode. I'll do the same with the season two Walking Dead because I bought the season pass, but I don't think I'm gonna sign up for season three of Walking Dead or season two of Wolf Among Us, regardless of whether I've enjoyed them. I feel like I'm not playing any games. I'm paying to watch something,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what do you guys think
I
of that?
mean,
I really don't like it.
it's very much, well, the last year or so, it's been very much kind of like just make some choices, sit back, and watch the story unfold. It's literally like watching a television show to some degree, with a couple of choices here and there. I remember the first couple of episodes of The Walking Dead. You had control of Lee, and you had a lot more interaction with the game. Let's say like he would walk around and have to talk to different characters and so forth. Like when they were at the farm. I don't know if you guys remember that portion
Yeah,
of it. Yeah, so they were at the farm, and
best
he had
episode
a
ever.
yeah, and that's a prime example. Or even when they were at the train, there was quite a bit of stuff to do, and you felt actively involved in the story. Uh, with The Walking Dead, with Clementine now, and with Wolf Among Us, particularly like the last two, three episodes, just you just sit there, and at first it didn't bother me a whole lot. However, I I was actually thinking about this when I found out that the Wolf Among Us episode was posting here pretty soon, where I'm definitely losing interest in this show. Just I'm not as hooked as I was, and yeah, I like the Wolf Among Us, but it's not drawing me like it was in the past. Just some of the elements are just getting kind of boring,
Yeah.
and are they dumbing it down? I don't know if they're doing it, if they're really doing that. I just really wonder if they're stretching themselves thin because of everything that they're trying to do all at once. Because originally, as far as we know, all they were doing was The Walking Dead. So you had everybody involved in this, and then they split. At least I would think that they would split somehow internally within Telltale. You had one group of people working on The Walking Dead, one group of people working on Wolf Among Us, and now with Borderlands and Game of Thrones, you got four different storylines that the people are working on. And, did they grow four times the staff? I don't know, but
And it's hard to
well,
remember what you chose, 2 months ago. What was it? Where did we leave off? I know they do
yeah,
it previously on, but you're still like, what did I select? What?
exactly,
I'd rather just play a game straight out.
yeah. And one thing I was also thinking about when you were talking just a little bit ago here, with you get all your achievements. I could swear that there was something in Walking Dead where I missed one achievement. Wasn't that you had a if you did something on the side of the road? Do you remember that? No. It
Sorry.
was if you
This in the second one or the first one?
it was in the first one, I think. If you did something on the side of the road, you either got the achievement or you didn't.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
And I'm sorry, but there's no way I'm gonna replay any of these games to get an achievement. To sit there through all those hours of just watching the dudes just go back and forth and their dialogue, that'd be so painful. So the replayability of these things is like non-existent. But I'm getting off on a tangent here. But anyway, okay, I'm not. How about you, Brun? What do you think? Are they dumbing it
Yeah, and definitely for the well,
on
when you think
purpose?
of it, well, you think
They
when
have
I
to
think
be.
of yeah, when I think of episodic gaming, I always think Telltale or whatever, and like based off of what Wing was saying about the Wolf Among Us, I didn't even bother playing the first one, and I'm not going to, just because I'm not going to pay money to click a few buttons. I like point and click adventures, so I kind of tied the first Walking Dead to that. Plus, I had I had a good story too. I had a great story. Um, but I think when they're like you said, what they're stretching themselves too thin. So what do they have to do? Well, put less interaction in it, so we don't have to worry about testing bugs, this or that. Let's just play a movie, an interactive movie with a couple button clicks, which is start game, end game. That that's doesn't sound like it's
There
a
you
game
go.
at all to me. It's not a game at all to me. Like it has to have, you know, I understand the moving to like in the first one, The Walking Dead. You went from the house to like the side motel area to another town to another house, and each time you went somewhere, that's kind of like when your game begun. Where it started. Like you had to figure out all the clues to get the game to move forward, which was
Right.
then like a skit or something like that. Well, if you're removing um, a majority of that section, or if you're removing that from the game, yes, you're dumbing it. I mean, you're just removing it. You're just trying to get
Yeah.
stuff out. So,
You bring up a good point there. Like in the first episode of or the first season of The Walking Dead, when
hmm
everyone was in the pharmacy. You remember how you
yes,
had that one thing where you had the locked gate, and I think you needed a brick.
yeah,
So there
hmm
was there was all of that you had to accomplish. You had to find things to use as tools, and you had to accomplish something like I think it was throw a brick through the glass. Hope I
yeah.
didn't just spoil something for anybody. But
That's the
yeah,
whole point and click adventure to me. That's the
yeah,
struggle. That's what makes it hard to move on. I mean, otherwise you make the game so easy, you know, that you're getting what you have in the Wolf Among Us, which even the Wolf Among Us doesn't sound like, oh, we got rid of the challenging parts and made it really easy to get through the story. It just sounds like they just removed that part of it. And they removed the difficulty in it. So,
They removed the gameplay.
right, right. Yeah.
So
and they did go across a lot of different platforms. I wonder if they did that in response to just make it more playable and mobile and
but I think,
the pads, tablets.
and that's
Less work, more money.
so. With them doing that, will you come back for more?
Nope.
Yeah, neither will I. I'm pretty much done after these
Well,
seasons.
Or I wait until they're all out, and then somebody comes and say, yes, the whole game the game as a whole was a 7.0, 8.0. It was a 10. If it was a 10, I'll go buy them. You know, if it was a 6, then I'll say forget it. Type of thing. So
Okay.
well, I can see Brun not getting it, but I know Wing and his impulse purchases.
Oh,
You'll get it. You'll get it. Just a matter of time. You're just like me in that respect. You know,
digital's going to be the death of me.
yeah. I don't know if I'd go after Game of Thrones, but I would give Borderlands a chance.
And that's a hard one because I love Borderlands,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
I
Oh,
think
that's
I'm going to try really hard to stay away from that one because I want
you'll
to
last a
play
week.
Borderlands. I want to play. I'll probably last a couple of hours,
Yeah.
but I want to play Borderlands. I don't want to read it or I don't want to watch it. I want to play it.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see what happens. Um, all right. So our last roundtable topic of the this episode, and then we'll get on to what everybody's waiting to hear. But Murdered Soul Suspect. This is a game that very recently came out on Xbox One, and this was by developer, uh, who was it? Airtight Games. The studio has actually gone under. They've been out for about a decade. They've released Dark Void, Quantum Conundrum, and recently Murdered Soul Suspect. In April, they laid off 14 members of their staff, saying, "Oh, this is normal. This is what we normally do when you come off a game, you lay people off, and then you bring them back on or build back up for your next game." Excuse me. Whew, I thought I was done, but that was a twofer. So so now this game comes out just like what couple of weeks ago. It hasn't been out that long, and the studio's already closed their doors. So we know that. I mean, what is this? So I got a couple of questions. How does this make you feel about buying their game? Because I thought the game kind of looked interesting. Um, Knowing there's not going to be any updates or no updates for any issues. Uh oh. Sorry about that. No updates for any issues, no sequels, etc. Will that keep you from buying it, knowing the studio doesn't even exist? And then lastly, can small developers survive in the gaming world today?
So with this happening, I expect the season pass to go at least 50% off.
Yeah.
At
Dude, they
least.
better not be selling no season pass, I'll tell you
I
that.
expect to see the season pass be at least $10 off. But
Only if you're a gold member.
yeah, there you go.
So
But
sorry, Brian, you have to pay full price. No.
yeah, this whole thing was kind of a surprise to me. Actually, it's a twofold surprise for me because first of all, when the game came out, I was really surprised that it came out. I'm like, where'd this thing come from? I remember we talked about it, but then yeah, it just snuck up on me. It must be when I was working those crazy weekends a while back. But since it came out, I don't really remember hearing anything about it.
That's probably a sign
You
of
know,
bad things.
Well,
it
this goes back to, hey, guess what? A game was released and we didn't tell anybody about it.
Yeah. And
yeah.
then you look at the score that it's gotten, like, from IGN, it got a 5.5.
Yeah.
So typically when you hear no news about a game, yeah, it's kind of one of those things. And then when the studio closes down, that's not any better. It's so, but
So can a
It's
studio? I mean, these guys have been around for a decade. Can a and obviously nothing did very well, but can a studio, these smaller studios, do you guys think that they can hang in there and compete with some of the big guys? Is
yes.
they definitely can. It just depends on what the studio is and what their product is.
Yeah.
It was like
I mean,
Telltale, for example. I mean, they were small, fairly, weren't they?
yeah.
Before
Yeah.
Walking Dead, they did some Texas Hold'em game.
Well, and they did Back to the
they
Future as well.
they did quite a few things, I believe, but
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think smaller studios can because it's the development studio really where a lot of the stuff comes in is finding a publisher, and since on PlayStation and on Xbox you can self-publish now, and on Steam, Greenlight and all those things, like they don't have to have big bucks or anything to actually put out a game, so it's one of those things, like all they have to do is they have to find something that takes off, and once that thing takes off they can have it, and then you have like, you know Kickstarter and stuff like that. So I think they can definitely stick around, but is this group here going to compete with, you know, 343 Studios and Halo or something like that. I mean, right off the at the top of my head, I'll say no, they're not. But you never know. You never know. They can always release that arcade or indie title or indie game that just everybody loves. Minecraft or it's like they can always go out and create something like that. So, but as far as buying this game, nope. I'm not going to touch it. So,
Kind of sad, I think, in this case because this game looked like it was more of an adventure style. It was something different. I'm sad that it didn't get a very good review. I remember when we first read about it, it was something I thought that might be kind of interesting. But obviously, I'm not going to put any money into it myself either when the dev doesn't even exist anymore. So,
yeah, the only time that
Yeah.
this happened to me with a game that I bought that I was actually disappointed that it happened was Ensemble Studios, and it was for Halo Wars, because I would have loved to have DLC for that game, and we've talked about it before, and also I know this is sidetracking for a second. I heard some invites for closed alpha went out for a new Command and Conquer game. That is
Ooh.
not. That's Age of. Okay, never mind. I was saying when I heard that, I'm like, oh no, wait, Command and Conquer. That's not right. I was hoping it'd be a Halo Wars, but that's Age of Empires, right? Age of
Age,
Empires. It's the okay.
that's by Ensemble.
Okay, sorry, I sidetracked for nothing. Unless you guys like Command and Conquer.
I do.
I
So
used to.
yeah, but all right. I was afraid that they were going to go with. I was thinking that it was not Halo Wars. They went with the other one, but that's Age of Empires. So never mind.
I know. Rob doesn't like Command and Conquer series, especially Red Alert too.
Yeah, because you get those submarines and you just kind of
Hide out in the
keep them
lake.
and hide them.
I
And I can't
know.
tell you. Jeez,
Can't
that
get
story
me.
is
Can't
from
get
like
me.
that story's from like episode 5 of this
Child.
Xbox Live.
I think we've been. I
Child.
think it's been mentioned several times, but still,
Yeah.
he
Gosh,
never
that
beat
might even
me.
be before we even existed.
Yeah, a quick
So
synopsis of what happened is Mark is a poor sport.
You couldn't. You didn't defeat me. You couldn't take out my whole army. You tried
that
and you
is funny.
failed.
Yep.
Poor sport.
Whatever, dude.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. Anyway,
All
Anywho,
right. So, okay. So I think that pretty much wraps up our roundtable. Unless you guys had any further comments or discussion on anything.
now
nope, nope.
All
Good
right.
topics. I like them.
Okay. Hopefully, we got a community. Oh, I actually muted it, so we'll be good to go. We did get our voicemail for this week, so hopefully it will play so everybody can hear it. We've had some issues with some audio in the past, but so anyways, you can join our Facebook group. Look for us. Just look for This Xbox Life, all one word, on Facebook. Join the community. Share your gamer tag. We do have a list of people's real names and their gamer tags in our file section at the top of our group, so you can look for that there. Add people to your friends list if you're looking for some good people to add. Honestly, I can say everybody that I've ever come across in this community has been an excellent person to play games with. I highly recommend it, getting to know people out there. We are continuing to grow. Tell your friends about our group. Tell your friends about our show. The more people we have, the better the community will get. So, if that's even possible, we got a pretty awesome group. Also, we do have Twitter. We don't follow it. I don't think Bron, you were gonna try to start following that. Are you still following it? Did you take that over?
Yeah, I've been posting using it and stuff like that,
Okay.
but I get it on my phone when people write back. So when people do tweet us and stuff, I do catch them and write back.
Okay. So we do use it. Also, we have our voicemail, as you're going to hear from someone here in a few minutes. We do. If you go to our website, there's a microphone option on the right-hand side. You just have to have a microphone hooked up to your computer. Click it, and it will ask you to please authorize use of using your mic. Say yes. Record your message. Leave your gamer tag if you would, please. And it'll send to us, and we'll put your comments or question into the show, and you can be part of our podcast. So, without any further ado, let me play this one we got from Andrew, and hopefully, you guys will be able to hear this. And hopefully, it won't blast our eardrums out. But here we go. Let's see. Well, I'm not hearing anything. This does not bode well. Uh, I'm not hearing it for some reason. And if I can't hear it, that probably means no one else can hear it. It is playing. Can you guys hear it on the
I don't hear
feedback?
it on the stream.
Okay. All right. I will. Andrew, from he was from, where was he from?
Tasmania.
Tasmania.
Tasmania, yeah.
Andrew, I will. I heard your call earlier. It's an issue with the program we use. I'll figure out a way to get it to play. You know what? Hold on. I think I know the problem. Duh. I gotta turn it actually on. Let's try this again.
Hello, this Xbox Lifers. My name is Andrew, and I'm calling in from Hobart in Tasmania. Just wanted to say that I really enjoy the show, and I wanted to share my thoughts on the new Xbox One console. I'm really enjoying it. I'm a great music lover, and I still play vinyl and CDs, but I've recently subscribed to Xbox Music, and I'm really making the most of the range. I found they have obscure bands in German, Hungarian, bands from Australia, the UK, and of course American, but even local bands and performers that I know. I'd imagine if I'd bought all this music, I just wouldn't have room to move in my house. But the real surprise packet for me has been the Xbox Fitness program. I wonder if any of you have had a look at this yet. It's worth downloading the app. I've done a couple of workouts already and did one this morning with my wife and found it really, really worthwhile. My friend across the road is a personal trainer and he had a look and frankly was amazed at the quality of the programs. There really is an extensive catalogue of programs by famous trainers there. And who would have thought I've already unlocked some achievements and earned some points? Who would have thought it? Sweating for points. Thanks again for the show, Andrew.
Okay, now I'm gonna talk real quiet, like not to blast everybody's ears as you lower your volume back down. Okay. All right, now we
What are
should
you
be.
talking about?
I apologize. I don't know why that happens. It's something. It's got to be with XSplit because it was loud and clear when I played it earlier through the computer. You throw it into XSplit, every volume is maxed out, and it just drops the volume somewhere. It's killing it, and everything's maxed out. So I apologize. Hopefully you guys could turn up your volume and hear him. If not, go ahead and replay it back a little bit later. Ooh, and as you hear me sneeze. But Andrew from Tasmania, he basically was just saying that he really likes his Xbox, his One, and he's loving Xbox Music on Xbox One because what he liked about it was that um, there's music from over where he lives, from bands and stuff over in those countries. So it's not just like music that over here in the states. So it's pretty neat that that type of music is available through Xbox Music, and he's also really enjoying Xbox Fitness. And I need to go back and look at it. I really should, as you can tell. I need to give that thing some love, and but I need some more low impact stuff. But I need to go check it out, see if they've added any lower impact stuff. But Xbox Fitness, I thought was kind of a cool idea. So, but thank you, Andrew, for sending in your voicemail. All right, so I think what else do we've got? That's pretty much it for the community stuff. You can also support us through Amazon.com. Use our affiliate link, thisxboxlife.com/Amazon if you're in the U.S. If you're not in the U.S., go to our website, click on the Amazon box. It will redirect you to our affiliate page for your closest Amazon distribution center. All right, Rob, what's new this week?
Hmm.
I don't hear you, Rob. You're
Mute.
muted.
This week, I don't believe there's anything. There's some releases later on in the month. That's about it.
Cool.
Yeah, next thing is on the
Thought it was in
360,
August.
July 22nd.
All right.
Yeah, what is? I forgot what it was, but there is something
Dark Souls 2,
for
July
360, right?
22nd. Yeah, for the 360.
And Xbox One, I think, is August.
Yeah, August 19th. So we've got a couple weeks before we get any new content, unless they tend to sneak in some more stuff. So we'll see that on Major Nelson's blog
So where might one
as it's
buy all this
released.
great content that didn't come out?
Ooh, ooh.
Well, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Pick
And an
Brun, pick
aquarium
Brun.
filter, and motor oil, and a solenoid for your refrigerator. You can find all of that on Amazon, and make sure to use our affiliate link as markets it.
All right. So I'll let each of us. Will each. Here's what y'all been waiting for. Now is the time to announce the contest winners. And before we do, I'm going to hold you just another few seconds. But it
Ooh.
is contest winner time. So what I'm going to remind everybody. For those of you that won, you need to send a message to Wingman709. Send it to me because the other guys ain't got your money to send you the gift cards. Send me the message, otherwise you ain't getting it. Send me a message over Xbox Live, and just tell me. All I need to know is, do you want the Xbox gift card or the Amazon gift card? That way, we're hitting the digital or the physical copies. You'll get a $60 gift card either way, and then be up to you to use it how you wish.
And who
Um,
are they sending it to?
to Wingman 709.
There you go.
So first, our first contest winner. I'll read this one off. Rob and Braun, you can read your respective questions and then
All right.
comment however you wanted to. I think there was some interesting thing. I think you guys should talk about your trivia questions because they were both
Mm-hmm.
good. But for our Twitch winner, um, this was a random. I looked at the list last week. Everybody was there. I had pulled up the list, did a random number, counted down the list to that particular number, and the winner of our first winner is Jap28. So congratulations! Yay! Woohoo!
Yay! I'm waiting for him to type in the thing because you know how there's kind of a delay. I
Yeah.
didn't want to type it in, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden he's like, "What?" And then he hears his name. Still waiting.
Jap
Still
28,
waiting.
step on down.
Still
So,
waiting.
so congratulations, Jap, and again we appreciate that was just there he goes,
There he is.
yay!
Yeah. It's hard to type when you're jumping up and down, right?
So, again, this was all based on you guys and supporting us through Amazon. So we are giving it back to you guys. We appreciate it. All right, Brun.
All right.
Yay.
Yours was interesting,
Yes.
and I think a
Mhm.
lot of people got. I think by the time they got to the end of your trivia, forgot what your first and second question were or clues were.
That's why I went through. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read through my things. I'm gonna explain them as I go. And in the chat, I'm gonna see if anybody can get it who's in the chat. Now we already have the winner, so whoever's in the chat, we're not handing out or picking a new winner or anything. But I want to see if anybody knows what it is. So the first clue. So I had 5 clues. The first clue was I have a brother or a sister. Okay. The second clue was my sibling and I are very poor. The third clue was I was killed by the town mayor. The fourth clue was my sibling is a descendant of a hero in our country. He or she also grows up to be a hero, him or herself. And then the fifth clue was my country's called Albion. So um, Albion is the country that's used in the Fable series. So
Carbide said Fable. That's correct.
Yep. Yeah.
But
So you have a brother or a sister because your hero can be you can choose to be a boy or a girl.
in
Right.
Carbide's wrong. He said the hero of Albion.
Ah, that's not right.
Incorrect.
So this is I have a brother or a sister. So then and then the sibling, which is the boy or girl that you choose to pick, is very poor. Okay. And then It was I was killed by the town mayor. So yes, somebody got
Blocksta
it
just
there.
said Sparrow's
Yep,
sister. Dang it.
Sparrow's sister. Her name is Rose. Yes. So very. I mean, it was. I like how we went through, and then of course the sibling is a descendant of a hero, and that's where the whole hero of Albion comes through. But yep, the mayor killed the sibling, and he was revenge. So the answer is Rose. So sister of Sparrow, and the winner of the person who got it right. Or actually, we had what 12, 13 or so answers, and I think only 4 of them got it right.
Yep.
And the random pick for the winner is Elite Scion XB,
Woohoo!
which
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
recognize all the way from
Woo.
been a part of the community for a long time. So
Yep.
yeah. So
Hit.
congratulations, you won my question. So
All right. And now next we give Rob's Facebook question. And Rob, I had a couple of people talking to me about this. And of course,
Yeah.
I still to this moment, I think I know the answer. I've not asked either one of you guys. Um, and so when the questions were coming up to me, people were talking to me this week, and I'm like, you know what? I think I know what it is, but I'm not really sure because your question was very interesting, and I thought it was very well done. But yet, if you really know the game, I think you gave away a lot, right?
There's a lot of clues in there, and if you Google some of the information, you'd probably pick up on it. Um, I actually checked to see if you Googled the whole thing, if it would give it away, and it didn't. So success. Can't make it too easy, but it was a little bit of a challenging thing. But there's a lot of information in there. Like every sentence gives away um, quite a bit of information. And there was one word that I originally had in it. And I was like, man, this one word will give it all away. I can't do it, so I took it out. And then I made it hard. But the thing that I posted up on Facebook was as follows: The city is my home, and it's far from a utopia. Big Brother watches everyone, and I can't trust the police nor the politicians. I need to use every last ounce of my athletic prowess to stay alive. No matter how tough things get, I just have to remember to keep the faith, capital F, and keep going. So, what this involved basically was this was said by a character in a game, and what game was that? And you guys ready?
were you a
I,
delivery
I
person?
think I think I know. I want to take a guess.
You want to guess? So then
I
I'll tell you
think.
if you're
Well,
right or
I'll
wrong.
give you my guess.
Okay.
I thought Mirror's Edge because if
Ding
I
ding ding ding
recall, yeah,
ding.
I win! Woohoo! I
Yeah.
win!
Unfortunately, you're too
What?
late. The contest has ended yesterday.
Ah! Oh, well, at
And
least I
what's
was
the
right.
character's name with a capital F?
Faith.
Faith.
Yes.
So basically, just to kind of go through uh, all the clues that were in there, the city is what the city was called in the game. It was actually the city, and it was a utopian type of city. Big Brother basically is all the politicians and the cops and the cameras and everything. They're all over the place. The police, you can't trust them. I think in the first couple of scenes in the game, you're fighting the police, and there's like this whole big hoop-de-doo with the mayor. So the politicians are definitely not to be trusted. Athletic prowess. This is
Mm,
the one that I originally had parkour in here, and man, that just would have given it totally
Yeah.
away. So I had to switch that around, and I gave the character's name in there, right there, Faith with a capital F. Um, but uh, there was a ton of people that actually got this right. I was very impressed. Thumbs up to all of you guys. Unfortunately, only one of you will win.
mm. Yeah, me.
You ready?
Woohoo!
No, no, no. Too late, buddy. Too late. Too late.
Oh, okay. Hold on, hold on.
Drum roll.
Drum roll, please. And the winner for the Facebook trivia question is a nightmare with a one
In the
instead of
K.
an I.
Yeah.
What's that?
And a K. And a K. Night.
Yes.
That's in a.
Yes.
Knight in
With
shining
a
armor.
K and a one. So if there's other ones out there that are spelled differently, sorry, you didn't win. You're not the nightmare we're looking for.
So,
Congratulations.
yes, congratulations. All right, so that's it for episode 300. We thank everybody. A reminder, you got to the end of this month to send Wingman 709 a message over Xbox Live. The three winners have to the end of the month. Tell me if you want the Xbox gift card or the Amazon gift card. Once I have that information, I will get that out to you this week. You'll have it by next weekend. So as long as I hear from all three of you this week. So, anyways, again, thank you guys for the support. I can't believe we did 300 episodes.
No kidding.
I'm just shocked, but it's amazing. We are looking forward to 400 now. So, but rate us stars, 5 stars, and give us good ratings on any podcast application that you guys use. We appreciate it. Please continue to share the love, spread the word, and to help others live the life like we do. So, with that, I am Mark, aka Wingman 709. I am taking off.
I'm Rob, also known as Presar. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll catch you all for the next 300 shows.
All right. And I am BJ Blooper. I mean, Brun, BJ Swick 33. Have a good one.